Okay, this isn't the most aesthetic place I could be sitting. Actually, in this room it probably is, but it is the warmest. So I'm going to sit here because I have a fire right next to this camera and I'm hoping that the sound isn't too bad. I thought I would do one of the 21 books I want to read in 2021. That is the year we're in. Honestly, the whole of last year just flew by. I just don't know where it went. It flew and dragged at the same time and I do not know how. I'm sure many other people feel that way. Also, sorry about the echo. There's not a lot in this room. It's a like summer house. I call it my shed because it's like gonna be my studio space, but yeah, I'm not sure what the sound sounds like. So I was writing my 21 books and then I kind of realized I have way more books than that I want to read, and I've set my Goodreads goal as 100 books. I don't know why I thought that's a good idea, because I didn't even reach my 52 book goal last year, but we're doing it. I'm gonna try, and I'm already behind, but what are you gonna do? Final year of uni? So I ended up doing fiction and non-fiction. So I'm gonna start with this video, which is fiction, and some of these I have with me, some of them I do not, because some of them I just don't own yet, and some of them are new releases, they're not out yet. But of the ones I have, and I've set myself a goal basically to buy less books this year, because I keep buying books and then not reading them. Speaking of goals, I'm going to start with a couple that are kind of really off topic, of brand. They're just not books that I usually read. So I picked up Animal Farm ages ago because I kind of said I wanted to read more classics, and that includes like old classics like Homer and stuff. Includes, you know, like these kinds of classics, because the only time I've read classics is in school when I've had to, basically. So I've read Pride and Prejudice and Jane Eyre, and I kind of want to read some more Shakespeare because I read Othello in school, and as much as I hated it at first, I kind of grew to like it after a while. So I might reread that, and I might read some other Shakespeare, we don't know. But yeah, so the first one is Animal Farm. I honestly don't know a lot about this book, so I don't really have very much to say. What I do have to say is this book apparently cost 50p at some point. I'm pretty sure I paid more than that, and it's used. I guess that's, if you converted it probably to current currency, probably is about average book price, but who knows. I don't really know when this edition was. But yeah, it's a very old looking edition, like it's quite yellowed, because I was buying kind of more used books, like not last year, the year before. The other classic that I was looking around for it, but I don't own it, so I don't know why I was looking around. The other classic I want to read is Little Women. I'm not sure if it's really up my alley. As I said, I don't know if I really like classics, because my only experience is in school and that kind of ruins everything. But I watched Lena Norm's video where she read, I think, the first chapter, and I don't know, it was quite nice to listen to, so I thought I might give it a go, and there's some really pretty editions of it, and I'm kind of hoping that if I like classics, I can collect some really nice editions, because classics have really, really nice editions and I just want them. Next category, which I think is the category I've got the most of, is romance. Kind of. I'm not sure they're all that romance, but the first one I've got is Exciting Times, which I've had on my wish list for a while. I'm going to be really bad at this because I can't remember the synopsis for a lot of these books. I just know that I put them on there, and I remember this one kind of had some comparisons to Normal People. I don't know if they're accurate. I've kind of seen 3-star-ish kind of ratings thrown around for this, but I really love Normal People. I know it's like seems to be a love-hate, but I absolutely adored every part of it. So I'm hoping I will like this as much, and I got this as one of my Christmas presents from my boyfriend's mum, so I am gonna get to that one at some point. The next one on my list is Red, White and Royal Blue. I bought this last year when I heard everyone speaking about how good it is, and have not got around to reading it yet, which is a common pattern with me. As I said, I just keep buying books and not reading them. I'm really interested in this whole like Prince and, well, was it Prince and President's Son kind of thing. I think it's really interesting. It kind of reminds me of, is it American Girl? Meg Cabot? You'll know what I mean if you, but yeah, they remind me of that. Also Princess Diaries, and I know it's a romance, and I'm looking forward to it because I've never read an romance, and I'm really trying my hardest to kind of go outside of like my books that I usually pick up, although this kind of counts as a book as I usually pick up because it is still a romance and my go-to genre is romance. But yeah, I guess I'm trying to read more like LGBT. I read Dani Brown last year, and even though even though the book's heterosexual, she's like a heterosexual relationship, she is bisexual, and also I just love her because she's bi and she's a professor, and honestly girls, that's just like, she's just so cool. She's got a shaved head. I wish I had a shaved head. I just don't think I'd suit it. I just don't think it'd work for me. But I'd also instantly regret it because one minute I want to grow my hair down to like here and then the next minute I want it up here. But yeah, anyway, as I say, I've just wanted to read this for a long time. And on the same topic, same author, I've got One Last Stop. So as long as I like red, white, royal blue, actually to be honest, I'll probably end up reading One Last Stop first because I think I'm gonna get it when it comes out in May. I've been trying to plan out what books I'm gonna buy so I don't go over the number that I want to buy. But it'll probably pan out like read that first. But hopefully I like red, white and royal blue because I'm gonna be getting One Last Stop first. But I've again heard nothing but good things about red, white and royal blue, so I imagine that it's going to be fine. Like, I'm really easy to please when it comes to romance. I have a lot of like guilty pleasure romances as well, so. And yeah, One Last Stop I think is a WLW romance. I don't know anything else about it, honestly. I've seen the cover, it looks beautiful. I love this cover. I love this style of cover. Mary McFarlane's got quite a lot of them, which speaking of is next. So I've got Who's That Girl? This is a chunky book. I did not realise how chunky this was. I've read all of her other works, I think, except this one. So this was the last one, and this was also a Christmas present from my boyfriend's mum. This will be the next Mary McFarlane I read. But also, again, that's probably a lie, because I have her other new release on here, which is Last Night, I think it's called. And I'm probably going to end up going around to that one first, because this, as I said, is a chunky book, and I do not have enough time at the moment. On the day of his wedding, when he kisses her, life goes really pear-shaped. See, I don't even remember what this book's about because I just read all of Mary McFarlane's other stuff and was like, I need this one as well. So that's where we got to. Next one I actually have with me is Skin. I'd heard of this one, don't know that much about it. It sounds really interesting. So it sounds like her most recent relationship is long since over and she's disillusioned with her career as a teacher, so she packs her bag and goes travelling in hope of finding a place for herself in the world. And I'm kind of really into this kind of concept of a book, and so this is one that I want to read next. Well, not read next, but read soon. And I got it in the Books That Matter books for this month, and honestly I've just not really read any of the books that I've got in those boxes so far, even though most of them sound quite interesting to me. So I need to justify the fact that I'm going to continue this subscription. So I'm like, okay, you have to start reading these books. So that is one that I'm going to be reading. Another one that I have with me is Girl, Woman, Other. Another one that's been on my bookshelf for ages. I got it, oh God, I do know it's ages because I think I got it before I came home, before everything happened, and that was, oh God, before March, because I got it in the Waterstones in Edinburgh. I have been reading a lot of non-fiction around race, and yeah, I think I should dive a bit more into fiction that kind of touches on race and elements. I kind of like stories that incorporate it that aren't entirely about, you know, like Dani Brown, where she's a bisexual woman, but the book's just about her romance in general. Like, it's not about, and then like, because I feel like that's realistic, like my everyday experience isn't, like my identity is kind of defined by those things, but my everyday experience isn't like so direct that a lot of books are. Does that make sense? That makes sense in my head. I feel like you might know what I mean. And then the other one I've got is Queenie, which is another present from my boyfriend's mum. Another one off my wish list. I think they were all off my wish list because I keep a wish list. And I've just heard nothing but good things about this book, basically. And I was like, I need to pick it up. And now I have it, and we're gonna hope I read it this year. Also, I know I said I was like keeping to theme, but I just can't keep track. So I missed Heartstopper 4, which I really want to read. I know I can read it online, but I've been waiting till the actual published book comes out, and so that's what I've been doing. I've been waiting. I'm going to read that when it comes out and get it on release day. And what else have I got on this list? Loveless. I'm about 3/4 of the way through Radio Silence. I didn't get to finish it last year. I'm really enjoying it, and I watched an interview of Alice Oseman talking about Loveless, and it just really appeals to me. I don't think I've ever read any books that have an asexual character in it, honestly, and so it's definitely something I want to kind of venture more into as well. And what else have I got on this list? It's hard to keep track of. I do have 3 more here. The other ones I don't have. So I've got Sleepwalking, which I picked up after Paperback Dreams spoke about it, and it sounds interesting to me. And the thing is, I started reading The Secret History, and it's just not for me, at least so far. I don't think I've given it enough of a chance, but I just didn't have the capacity to give it the chance at the time I was reading it. So I'm going to try it again at some point, but I think I'm going to read this first because it's thinner, and when I was listening to Kat talk about this, it sounds more up my alley. Hopefully I like it. I really want to like it. It sounds like something I should like, but whether I will is another issue. And another one I've got that I think was also Paperback Dreams' recommendation was Take Me Apart. I think this is like a thriller horror type. When famed photographer Miranda Brand died mysteriously at the height of her career, it sent shockwaves through Calanas, California. I haven't really branched that much into horror and kind of thrillers, but I really like horror films, and I just feel like I need to give the books a try. And so I have this, and I'm going to read it this year. Fingers crossed. We'll find out. I'm not going to promise because I know how bad I am. Look, the stack is getting higher. So this is the last one I've got in person, which is Ninth House, and I have Crooked Kingdom and Six of Crows, and I was going to buy the Grisha trilogy. Is it trilogy? I don't know. But then I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Cindy and Paperback Dreams and someone else does, and they were talking about the Grisha. It just kind of came on my thing, and they were just, I think, talking about how they'd reread whatever ones, and that you don't really need to read them to read like Crooked Kingdom and Six of Crows, so I've got those as well. And then I think I'm going to read Ninth House first, so that's why I included it. It kind of sounds a bit like, probably on the same kind of level as The Secret History, but maybe easier for me to wrap my head into. Again, it's another big boy. I need to get some thinner books, I really do, because I don't know where I think I'm getting all this time from, especially if I'm trying to hit 100 books, because I don't have any. So that's the last book I have in person. So I'm gonna have to pick up my list now. So the next one I have is Ghosts. Another one I don't know much about, but I know Dolly Alderton's work's really popular. I do have her other book. It's another one that I haven't got around to yet. Someone help me. I should stop buying books. This is why I'm setting that goal, because I know if I stop myself buying them completely, I'll just be moody, because I enjoy, I don't know, picking up new books. But I've set myself a limit, so my hopes is I can kind of reduce the amount I'm buying each year until I've read all the ones on my shelves. So that's another one of my goals, to kind of read more on my shelves. So yeah, I've got Ghosts on there. I think it's in the same kind of vein as kind of Skin and Girl or Another, Queenie, you know, kind of like adult, following the adult life. This is the thing, I'm trying to branch into more adult books. Well, I have in like the last year, and non-fiction, because I was so used to reading YA, but then I kind of felt like it didn't connect to me anymore, so then I just kind of stopped enjoying reading. But it was really a thing of like I needed to find stuff that was more my cup of tea, because it changed quite a bit. Also another one on that kind of topic. So here's a bonus one, because this will be 22 books now. I also really want to read Olive, and that's been on my wish list for a while. But it's about, I know she doesn't want children, and that's what really interests me, because I think there's kind of a lot of expectation that women should want to have children, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't think I will change my mind. I don't want children. I think great for other people, not really for me. I went through a phase where I was reading a lot of new adult, and there's not that much of anything to it, but one thing is that I noticed in the authors I was reading, they follow this very much like a structure where there would be this happening and this happen, and it was the same in every book, but they'd have like slightly different main character as well. The end for all of them was always they'd get married and have children. I'm like, can I have something else? Can I have anything else? Like, I know that's like the case for a lot of people, and that's great. Personally, don't relate to that, and so I just wanted something else to go on. Oh, I've got 2 Sally Rooney books. So as I said, I love normal people. So I've got Beautiful World, Where Are You, which is her release in September. And I've got Conversations with Friends. I have Conversations with Friends, but I don't have it with me right now. I've read like the first couple of pages so far, but then I was too tired and I just went to bed. Yeah, as I said, absolutely love normal people. So I'm hoping I love these other 2 as much. I'm a bit scared about Conversation with Friends because Lena Norms, whose channel I absolutely love, she was the one, like when she was talking about the comparison between Normal People, the TV show, and the book, was what actually made me want to read the book. I'd never seen the show and I'd heard so many people talking about Normal People, but I wasn't sure it would be for me, and it ended up being one of my favourite books. So I really want to like Conversations with Friends, but she didn't like Conversations with Friends, and so I'm a bit scared. I'm hoping I do. And then I'm also a bit scared because it sounds like Beautiful World, Where Are You might be more similar to Conversation with Friends than it is to Normal People, but I'm not really sure. I'm just hoping. Everyone just hope for me. Fingers crossed. I think the final book I've got, on here is The Song of Achilles. So I actually have Circe, and I'm gonna say this is gonna either be Circe or The Song of Achilles. But the reason I wrote The Song of Achilles down is because I kind of picked Circe up on a whim. I think when I picked up Golden Lover, whenever I'm in like Waterstones or a bookshop, I just end up coming out with like 8 books, and I went in for one. But I should probably read Circe first, really. But I have heard The Song of Achilles is better. But actually, maybe I should read Circe because I've got it on my bookshelf. And then if I don't like Circe, then I've got more of a chance of liking Song of Achilles. But those 2 are kind of interchangeable for me for kind of what I want to try out. So it might be that I end up reading Circe so that I can save the space for another book I can buy, or so I can buy Song of Achilles later on. That is all 21 books. Oh, I am lying. I've almost forgotten one. So I love Richard Osman. I love his House of Games. I love Pointless. I love him on Taskmaster. I just love him. I think I need to read The First Day Murder Club. I've heard good things. I've read the synopsis. I'm not really sure it's for me. I think it's about like some older people who basically go and solve murders. But I think it might be potentially something that catches me by surprise and that I do actually end up liking. And I feel I owe it to myself and Richard Osman to give it a go because, as I said, I love him. I just love everything he's in and does. So I just feel I really need to try it. And so that is, I am pretty sure, the final book on my 21 fiction books that I want to read this year. I hope you had fun listening to them. I'm sorry I didn't have enough synopsis memorized. I think I quite like going into the book forgetting what they're kind of about, so I don't have like as many expectations, and I just kind of take the book as I go. I just kind of like knowing the general genre. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be posting a non-fiction version of this. I will see you in the next one. Bye.